All right, here we go again, beautiful people. This is Jose Trujillo. I am the world's greatest living artist. Just happens to be that way. I know some people don't like it, but it's true. I promise. So here we go. I'm ready to do one of my awesome paintings. I hope that everybody is doing awesome. I just get right to it, guys. I don't know. I know that we all do things differently, but I just get right to it. I think that it's the safest way to paint, to just get right to it. If there was such thing as safe painting, safe way to paint, it would be, dude, just get right to it. And this is it for me. Notice what I'm doing, guys. This is a little fun thing that I like to do. It puts me in the in a bit of control, because what happens many times, here I go, is that if you don't do it enough, you start feeling like you can lose control. So you wanna gain back control by being a bit bold. And maybe it's not painting, it's keep moving, right? Because I don't know if you guys have seen some of the artists out there. They tend to do this, and they'll draw, and they'll be like, that's a different way of painting. Some plein air painters like to do that. That's a great way also of doing things. If you don't paint quick, if you want to paint slower, if that's your jam, then move a little bit, but keep moving, and then then you go and you do your thing, and then you come back, and then you do. You don't want to do this. This is what you don't want to do. Engage and disengage, engage and disengage, because that will lead to paralysis. Okay, so even if I'm not painting, I'm doing this. It's sort of like Bruce Lee, okay? I said it there. It's sort of like Bruce Lee. Any of you seen those awesome movies? The Kung Fu movies of Bruce Lee? When he's dancing. He's not really punching. Sorry about that, guys. He's not really punching. He's not doing, he's dancing. It's almost like he's warming up at the same time as he's fighting. It almost feels that way. He's keeping the momentum. This guy figured that out early on. He's quite a philosopher too. He's keeping the momentum going. So when he's ready to strike, he's already in a moving state. He's not in a dry state. Let's call it that. In Spanish, sometimes we use that word. You're not in a seco. We say. You're not doing it from a point where there's no movement, and now it becomes a bit harder because now you have to kind of calibrate, right? But if you're moving, there's something that's happening. It's a little weird, but I also seen it in those movies by Bruce Lee, where he's doing sort of he's jumping, he's moving his arms, and there's a bit of what would it be? It's almost as if he's practicing in the fight, right? Almost as if he's practicing right there, but he's not. I know what he's doing not in fighting. I know what he's doing from a painter's point of view. I know exactly what he's doing. I do the same thing. Right? It's to keep the lines open. That's what he's doing. He's keeping the lines open. When you keep the lines open, anything's possible. You're not starting from a non-movement point, right? You could be here, you could be there. You're moving, and it's all coming together. You're cooking it. It's all coming together. and it keeps it fresh too. It allows for the work. The work stays in a. There's this almost. You give it breathing space. There's another way of saying it too. You almost give it breathing space. The painting will ask for that. It's just figure it out, guys. It's not the painting's asking for that. Your mind is really asking for that. Your soul is asking for some breathing space, and you give it to it by not concentrating in the same place. Because if you start concentrating in the same place, what happens? You start thinking about it. You start judging that, right? If I stay too long here, I'm gonna start judging it. I know that it's happened to me my whole life. Painting, right? I know what's happening. I start micromanaging it, and that's fine if it's a style that you have developed in painting, hyperrealism or whatever. But not if you're doing something intuitive. It doesn't work. Not if you're trying to paint in an intuitive manner. You have to let it go. Thank you so much, Emma. Emma Littleton Art says, love the advice you provide and your laugh. Thanks. But that's really the whole thing about this. You know, it's a... I've said it before, but I've never said it publicly. If you want to learn how to paint, paint in a or loosen up, not learn how to paint. That came out a bit pretentious. That's not what I was going. I was going to learn how to paint in a loose brush style. But if you want to learn how to loosen up, it would probably benefit you to watch a high-end athlete, someone fencing, someone swimming. Watch a Bruce Lee movie. Watch Bruce Lee move. The way they move, you're gonna start picking up on that, because they're moving because of experience. The way they move is due to experience. Is due to the practice and the practice and the practice. And you will see a common thread in all of these people. You will see a common thread. The common thread is that it's not wishy-washy. It's not that they're like, oh my God, oh okay, here. And it's not that their movements are very pure. They're direct. They're direct. It's a pure movement. It's not I'm trying to calibrate. No, they're moving. But when they strike, right? It's like those Bruce Lee movies again, right? It's like those Bruce Lee movies. He's moving around, he's doing this with his arms, right? And then when he's ready to strike, it's direct, it's final. It's not, oh, no. I didn't mean to do that, and then they go back. No, it's final. They're moving, okay, it's final. It's final. And then you move somewhere else, and then that's final, right? You don't go back and you try to do it right there. It's final. Whatever they do, it's final. It's complete. That's why Monet said, as a bird sings, I like to paint as a bird sings, because it's complete. It's true. It's not as pretty. I don't think he was talking about that. He was saying, that's true, right? Because a bird doesn't go, oh, okay, well, here I go, la 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 la. The bird doesn't sing that way. The bird's song is true, is direct, is final, it's purposeful. It's not thought. Because many times we confuse that. We think that being purposeful is that you think about it, and you think about it, and you think about it, and then you strike. That is not purposeful. That's out of the head. And it's my personal understanding that your mind has very little to do in art. Your mind almost doesn't really understand art other than organize colors, organize little things here and there, teach you some stuff, right? It's an organizer, but it's not where the artwork is being produced. The artwork is being produced out of nowhere, out of nothing. The artwork is being produced from the unborn. Let's call it that. That's another way of saying it. The artwork comes through you. It doesn't come from you. If you think it comes from you, you're deeply, deeply mistaken. No artist comes up with artwork. It's not mine. It's just, you know, for purposes of for being pragmatic and realistic in the sense of the world, of course, right? There's it's yours. There's copyright. There's this. There's that. Of course, but the higher intelligence of it belongs to nobody. It's no one's. It just comes out. It belongs to nobody. No one can own it. Yeah, Betsy says your mind gets in the way. LOL. Yeah, absolutely. Mine's always getting in the way, and it's nothing bad. It's not like I'm the artist that has a personal vendetta against the mind. No, it just doesn't have any. It has no room in painting. It has no room. It has very little room. It's an organizational tool, right? What do we do with our mind? Oh, here, let me think about. If you have to think about something, you're projecting, right? It's a projection tool. You're either projecting in the past or you're projecting in the future. It's a projection. Really, that's what it is. Think of your eyes as a camera oscura if you're one of those artsy-fartsy people that understand what I'm talking about. Think of your eyes as a projector. A projector. Your mind, right? You're either thinking about the past or you're thinking about the future. You're either stuck in the past. It's a projection. It's organizational and it's to project. But that which is projecting is not from the mind. Okay, I'm getting a little philosophical here. That which is projecting does not come from the mind. It comes from elsewhere. Call it whatever you want. It's not from the mind. The mind is the projector. But the not the image. Even from where the image comes from, it doesn't belong to the mind. The mind, I say it over and over because it's so effing true, guys. It's not the mind's. So we rely as artists. We think that it's the mind. So we think we have to calibrate, and we think we have to. Oh my God. That is a mistake that we all do. You know, most of us. Until you start painting long enough that you start realizing, man, I've been listening to my mind this whole time, and the mind in painting. And I'm gonna say this, guys. I've been painting for over 20 years. I've been painting full time for the past 6 years, and the mind has. I paint about anywhere between 8 hours to when I binge paint. I'll go a whole day, you know, I don't know, 16 hours painting, 14 hours painting, something like that. And I found one true thing in painting. That when you paint enough, you go into what is called a zone, right? You slip into the zone. The zone is where you start painting almost like you're one with it. You're one with it. It's almost like if God is guiding you. That's what it feels like. It's some people call it channeling. Some people call it. Picasso used to say, "All the painters of the past are with me." Right? In other words, all the intelligence it's available to me. That's really. It wasn't freaky. He was just saying all the intelligence because it's true, right? You're grabbing intelligence that it's not yours. It's a wisdom that. All of a sudden, it's just available to you. But it only comes... I've only experienced it. I don't know other artists. But I've only experienced it in deep creation. Like long hours and days, right? Sometimes it's just long hours. Most of the time, it's 2-3 days in a row with long hours. Maybe 3, 4, 5 hours a day for about 3 days, 4 days in a row. And all of a sudden, boom, it's turbo. It just goes. And I'll paint like that for a month, just one after another, and just start moving, and I know exactly what to do. It's so precise in my understanding because what happens is that I start accepting myself. I start accepting myself, and I start trusting what I'm doing. It's a trust thing. It will always be a trust thing. It's not skill level. It's not. Most of us think it's skill level. It's not. It's you develop some skill, but then you have to trust it and use it. And only in trusting and using it, you develop more skill. You can't develop skill and then try to go get more skill and wait till you have more skill to then use it. I hope I made any sense. So as you develop a little bit of skill, you got to start using it, utilize it. Start swimming with the current, and then more skill is going to be granted to you. Skill is like it's like if you work for a company, you will not get the keys to the company unless your responsibility rises. It's the same way. Your responsibility rises, then you get paid a little bit more. You get more more perks, right? All of a sudden you get the parking space. All of a sudden you get the nice office. You get the pay raise. You get the vacation or whatever. But you start getting more because it goes on par with your responsibility level. And painting is the same way, guys. The more you do it, the more you become responsible with it, which is just doing it. That's all it really is. The more you're gonna start getting out of it. So, anyways, that's that for my thing, and I'm really sharing some stuff here, guys, that I know a lot of artists don't like sharing. I don't know if they're not aware of them. I don't know if they're doing them. They're using them. And what I mean they're using them is they're using the laws or whatever you want to call them, right? Momentum, inspiration, being fully integrated in it, whatever you want to call them, whatever they look like. But it's happening, it's happening. They're using them. They just, a lot of them don't talk about it. A lot of artists don't talk about it. And I want to talk about it because I think that it's important. I think that other artists should understand this. Other people that are starting out should be able to have this information. They're not secrets, but they look like secrets when you don't do it enough. And that's why I'm telling you guys, the more you do it, the more you will become one with your artwork. You're gonna start realizing, oh man, it was never about talent. Lela Correa Taller says, admiro la soltura y precisión. Los impresionistas estarían impresionados también. Gracias. That's in Spanish. So it's really the thing, guys. When you're creating artwork, it's about letting go. And I've know only one true thing in painting. You start getting really good, whatever that is, right? Whatever good is for you. But it comes out of doing. And there is a movement that's happening that it's not yours, right? It's not yours. That's why so many artists refer to it as not thinking, painting quick, because you it's like riding a wave, right? I don't know, I've never surfed, but I imagine for surfers, it's like riding a wave. You're trying to catch that wave. As an artist, that's what I'm doing. So I'll go and I'll put myself in the water and I'll just waiting for that wave. Not necessarily waiting, it looks that way. But I'm painting. All of a sudden the wave comes and I ride it, right? And I start riding it. And many artists miss out on that because they don't paint enough. That's really the problem. Unless you start painting enough and you start painting daily, you won't catch the wave. It's very difficult to catch it. Because it's not, that's why Picasso used to say, I believe in inspiration, but it has to find you working. Because that's the wave. The inspiration, it's the wave, it's the zone. Many people call it different things. But it really is that you're creating artwork. Whether you like it or not, it's okay. Don't judge it. Here's a little secret. Don't judge it. Just keep painting. Keep painting. Move on to the next one. Leave it alone. Get another canvas. If you don't feel like it's finished, it's okay. Leave it alone. Move on. Right? And then move on. And then as you're moving, all of a sudden, there's going to be a click. Before you know it, you're going to start experiencing a click. And it's when the engines start. It's for many artists, it happens automatically. Some artists, it's a slow burn. But for me, it's almost always automatic. It happens when I start putting enough time, right? I start putting enough time, and all of a sudden, boom, I just slip into it. I slip into this. It's the most precious thing for a creative. You start becoming, your precision is celestial. That's the only way I can put it. You know, it's some wise people out there call it right action. I've heard this from a speaker and I don't know, spiritual writer, Eckhart Tolle. He calls it right action. All of a sudden, you know what to do. You know exactly where to move, how to move, and it's not that you're channeling or you're mystic, or it's not that. It's just that you're not thinking about it. So there's a higher intelligence moving, right? It's yours. It's there, available for you. Thank you so much. The heat. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. I'm sorry if I'm butchering the Instagram name. She says you're so fantastic. Thanks for the art pep talks. You're welcome. I as an artist, I've always wished that other artists would share their process, because many artists want to share how to paint, and just call me Heather. Awesome. Thank you, Heather. Many artists want to teach others how to paint. And I think that's a bit of it doesn't work really. It works to get someone rolling, but teaching how to paint is not really the goal, because you all have your own thing. Many times we don't know it because we don't do it enough. But you start doing it enough, and all of a sudden you start finding like it all comes together. It all comes together. Things that you learn here connect. It reminds me of this. I have a 10-year-old son. It reminds me of the Lego movie. The reason I say I have a 10-year-old son is because we went to watch the Lego movie, and I remember that the Lego movie felt like being an artist. The people, the protagonist, the little toy protagonist, he was being told, look, just trust, right? Just trust, and then you're gonna start constructing. Spoiler alert, I'm sorry. You're going to start building. And because you're naturally a builder. And this is the same way that we are as artists. We're naturally builders. So when you trusting means that you keep going even if you don't like it. Even if it looks like you're doing a shitty job, just keep painting. Keep putting that time. And all of a sudden, when you least expect it, it's not years, guys. I promise you, it's days. Maybe even hours. All of a sudden you're going to slip into, bloop, you slip into that magical place. And that magical place, all you have to do is just keep going. If you stop, you're going to come back up and you're going to start thinking again. And then you're going to feel frustrated. And it's okay. Don't feel bad. Just remember, okay, all I have to do is just keep painting. And then whether I like it or not, whether I think my work sucks or other people have offended me or maybe you don't honor yourself enough, whatever. I don't think almost any of us do enough honor ourselves. And then all of a sudden you're going to fall into that place. It happens. My job for the past 6 years, I've been painting full time. It's just picking myself up and going, picking myself up. And I'm learning, okay, maybe just keep going. And when you fall, right? Or when you fall in that place of high wisdom in art, we call inspiration, keep going. Just keep going. Right? Use it. And if for any reason I start thinking again, it's okay. Right? But make sure that I live down there. Right? I live in that place where I'm not judging my artwork, I'm not judging other people's artwork, and I'm just creating artwork. And it's pure bliss down there. Right? It's pure bliss. And I call it down there. It's not really down there, but it feels like that. It feels like you fall into this area of non-judgment. You fully accept yourself, and you understand your greatness. That's the best way to describe it. You understand your greatness. You start becoming one with it. whatever it is, whatever one is. You start becoming. It's a, there's a marriage happening between you and the creator. I don't know. Mother Earth, the universe, fuck it. I don't know. Call it whatever you want. I don't know what to call it. I just know it's available and I'm gonna use it. And, you know, that's all I know. It's available to every artist. It's just that most of us don't do it enough. That's the problem. Most of us do it a little bit and they're like, oh my God, it's not working for me. It's bullshit. It's just that you just gotta keep doing it more. And all of a sudden it's available to you. Grab it. Grab it and use it. Because every single one, you don't have to wait till you paint precise. You don't have to wait till you paint super abstract like Mark Rothko, or you don't have to wait. It's available right now. It's like right now. All you have to do is just start doing it. And as you're hating it, and maybe you don't like it, because there's a resistance happening. It's okay. Just push through. Just be like, okay, well, I'm not enjoying what I'm doing, but I'm still doing it. And as you keep doing it, you're gonna fall, and you start realizing, because there's a resistance happening. The resistance is judgment. That's all it really is. Because you don't trust yourself, because you don't do it enough. I don't know what came first, the chicken or the egg. I don't know if you judge because you don't do it enough, or because you don't do it enough you judge, right? You judge your own work and yourself, and you don't trust yourself. I don't know which one's first. It doesn't matter. None of that matters. What matters is that it happens. So just, you know, just keep doing it. I'll leave you guys with that. My name is Jose Trujillo. Thank you so much, Amy. Buena charla. Thank you so much, Heather. I really appreciate that. For shits and giggles, I call myself the world's greatest artist. Some people find that annoying, but you know, it says more about other people than me. I call myself that because I like to remind myself of my own greatness, and I think you should too. Thank you so much. Take care, guys. This is what my palette looks like. And again, I'm going to remind you guys, I'm going to be doing some, this is walnut oil. I love using walnut oil. That's the only medium I use in oil paint. I don't use other solvents or anything like that. It's just pure walnut oil. It's a little expensive, but it's definitely worth it because, you know, I try to keep whatever I can a little hippie around here, a little clean. I'm totally not hippie, but whenever I can. Totally, yeah, it's walnut oil. It's you make sure that it's artist walnut oil. I have heard from other artists that they get over the counter. I don't know. I've never used it over the counter, but some artists say that it works. I don't know. Maybe it's worth a try. Maybe I still need to try it. An artist friend told me about it, and I haven't done it. But it's worth a try. I get the artist walnut oil. It's more expensive. Maybe because they say artist. I don't know. I trust it. So it's soft mixing white, phthalo blue, viridian, pale yellow. It could be it's a cadmium, cad red. This is dioxazine purple, magenta, and this is a black that I like to mix myself. Sometimes I'll get ivory black or Mars black, but I like to mix my own black sometimes. It's so much fun. And just a quick tip: you'll make a really nice, very dark, almost black color with phthalo blue, burnt sienna, which I don't have here, and cad red. Maybe even add some purple in there. I don't know. You'll make a nice black. I mean, black is the mother of all colors. So I love keeping it there. So there you go. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate it. There it is. Oh, and this painting is going to be on my eBay shop. I'm going to start the auction at 99 cents. For those of you who are like, dude, I got to go get it. Well, there it is. All right. Take care, guys. Much love. And remember, we can't really love and respect others if we don't do it to ourselves first. So that's I don't know. I think that's worth remembering. Take care, guys. Adios.